going to be here to supervise me, but I'm going to try to do what I need to do next without his supervision. Maybe I can get by, I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I think I don't think I need my glasses for this. I'm gonna put them in that box. Y'all don't let me forget where I put them at. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these stairs out of here. And this board here is just sitting here. It ain't for nothing. But I could use it for some steps in a little bit. You see, this board isn't nailed to this. It's just kind of propped up over here, like this here. I think I can pick it up and go right over the top of this with it. Put it on the other side. This piece here, go over there too. So I can put my ramp right here. This is just stuff that I made out of leftover stuff. I think I built this little piece out of a bunch of leftover stuff. It's pretty sturdy. It's all made out of a 4x4, which, man, I'd realized how much these things are going to cost. When I made it, I might have saved that 4x4, but oh well, it's gone now. So it'll fit right over there, and I'll put them stairs right over there with it. We'll have a ramp here, and I'm gonna have them stairs for over there. There ought to be a name or word for this kind of walking. Like when you move something by doing this kind of duck. I'm tending to want to call that a duck walk. It's duck walk out across there. I don't know if that's a proper term or not. It might just be something I made up in my head. I don't know. But beside the point, just stick it over there. And it might be a good time to get up under there. I want to shoot a screw up into this. And if I lay down on that and get on my back up under it, I could do that. I'm gonna go get my thing. A while back, I seen one of them little Facebook ads, you know, where they advertise something that you're never gonna want, but you look at it and you think it's cool. And I had a little money, and they advertised this thing. They said you get down on it and roll under a car, under a house or something. I thought, boy, that looks like a huge waste of money right there. But I was just in one of them places where I had a little money. I don't know, maybe I'd sold a car or something. So I bought one. I thought, well, I just wasted a ton of money. Well, you know what? I have used the daylights out of that thing. I have crawled under houses with it, and cars, and RVs and campers, and I really used it a lot. So it might not have been that big a waste of money. All in all, in reality. When you know, the screwdriver gun's over there and I'm over here. Oh yeah. There's a bird singing. Hey birdies. That bird singing right there, can y'all hear him? He sounds like he's saying, video, 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 video. Video, 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 video. I don't know if y'all can hear him or not. I can. I like being able to hear the birds. I can't hear them unless I got my hearing aids in. The other day I was talking about on the video, can you hear the birds? Well, went back and listened to it. I couldn't hear them. I thought, how is it that I can't hear them? And I thought, oh, I ain't got my hearing aids in. I can't hear the birds without them. So It made me stop and think a little bit, you know. I'll take these pencils out of my pocket before I break them. I get a screw shot up underneath the bottom of these things here. One of them big 4-inch screws. Run it out the side. Looks like I'm going to move that angle a little bit. My battery giving out on me. Oh, it did. You know what? I found these batteries give out most often when you're crawled in under something. It's going to be hard to get out from under, so we'll go get another one. Y'all found that to be true? Like if you're standing next to the battery charger, they don't ever run out. If you're under a house on your back with your arms over your head, trying to drive a screw sideways, that's when they go down. Sure is. It's an unwritten law. It's kind of like Newton's law, except Newton, you know, Newton's law's got a name. We could call this the peak law. This is the peak law. It's peak law that, I guess we'd call that other thing the peak walk. That thing I was calling a duck walk, where I walked at, you know how you walk a refrigerator across a flat surface? You woggle the sides. We call it the peak walk. We call that the peak law. When you're underneath something and the battery goes dead. That's what we can do. Now I just thinking, if I didn't have y'all here to talk to, people think I'm crazy, because they'd come by and say, that man talks to himself all the time. But because I got you here, y'all give me justification for talking to myself. And you keep the neighbors from committing me to a mental asylum, which might be where I belong. I don't know. Hard to tell. Could be. I've got a good bite. Yeah, I'll put a couple in that one over there and see if I can get on here and do the middle one after a little bit. Once I get it in place. Get this one going about the right spot too. Do this one over here. Now this piece goes in here. I need to move all this water hose and stuff out of the way. Yeah. Oh. I just found my glasses I lost about a week ago. I don't know how they got to be under there. I must have been laying on them, but there they are. Ain't that special? There she say, straight ball of fire. Yeah, I'm gonna go back up under there. Put screws through the inside of that too. You notice the careful measurement I took before I placed that there to make sure that everything was absolutely perfect, didn't you? Oh, you didn't notice that? Oh, well dang. Maybe I didn't do it. Hang on a sec. Hang again. Sometimes my exacting standards of excellence ain't that special. Just say, oh, there we go. Yeah, baby. This is where the good stuff starts. Put a little bit more bite into that screw right there. Keep that board, man. Yeah. Yeah. the way we like it. Right there. Hey, it's pretty comfortable. I could take a nap under here. Now I'm gonna put something under here to put a brace up in the middle of this. Figure out what I want to use for something to go under it there. There's my tape measure. Got it on the porch. I think I mislaid my good little framing square the other day. Let me see if I can see where I put that thing at. Y'all hear that sound? That's Jerry going out in that red truck he's got. He sold his daily driver truck. He's driving that truck with that big motor in it now. That's his new daily driver. Not a new truck to him. He's had that thing for 15 years. It's new to him as far as being a daily driver. Oh. Guys know how that's done, I guess. By the way, he did something cool with that truck. It might be a cool tip for some of y'all. He needed a pretty beefy transmission in that thing. He had torn up the transmission. It was a 400 Chevy automatic, one of them overdrive automatics that Chevy made, Chevy 400. He had torn that thing up, taking it apart, putting it back together about 10 times. Couldn't get it where it'd stay together. It just had too much power on it. So he went and bought an old RV with a big block Chevy in it, like a 454 and or 427 or something like that. But it had an extra heavy truck R400 transmission with steel hardened pieces and parts in it, and the thing only had about 20 or 30,000 miles. That's one thing about RVs is people tend to often not put an awful lot of miles on them because they only drive them every now and again. So he wound up getting an excellent heavy-duty transmission for that for a couple $100, which is cheaper. He couldn't buy any high-performance parts to go in the other one, and even if he did, he wasn't even sure if that old transmission was still hanging together because it's kind of old and beat up and stuff. So, any of y'all ever need a good deal on a Chevy engine or transmission, look around for one of these old RVs that's sitting in somebody's yard that they want to get rid of. A lot of times you can drag one of them off. Well, Dead-Eye Dan did that. He brought home an old Class A Winnebago, had a 440 Chrysler engine in it, engine and transmission. He's going to put that in that truck he built. That Frankenstein truck, but he wound up selling it because it was so big, physically big. But it's a good resource to get a good engine transmission with some low mileage on it for a cheap price. A little tip for you. All right, I want to put something on here and brace this up. So I think I'm going to use these two spare pieces here and put them under here. Go like this. Alrighty. Let's go cut us some more pieces. So these 16 feet pieces generally have an extra inch on the end of them. I'm thinking if I cut all those 48 1/4, then I can just not have an extra inch to throw away when I get to the end. That's how I'm going to measure them off here. Measure each one 48 1/4. And then 96 1/2. And what's 48 on top of that? Let's see. That would be 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. There we go. Should do it. Might be easier to cut from up on top than down below. I suppose I could go ahead and set this step thing up over here on the other side. Running around like a chicken with my head cut off, ain't I? But I could bring y'all over here and kind of watch me. Sawhorse is kind of in the way, but maybe I can work around it. I could probably take the sawhorse away with all this stuff here. Take this box of wood. Don't even look like I need it up here now. But I can go ahead and move these out. Make some good scaffolding boards right here. I thought about cutting them up, using them in that pergola. But I kind of decided I think I'll keep them a little longer. I might need some good scaffolding boards one of these days. That's good old-fashioned Maine hemlock right there. See how it holds up to the summer climate. Insects. Get this out of here now. I can peek walk this around like this. And I can scooch this over here. Got a little chip on this end, so I think I'll put that in up close. Okay, so here we go. Now I got some little steps over here. That we can transverse the distance from here to there. Oh, the joy. It's a little woggly, ain't it? I can put some more stuff under it. Or change the friction of it. What I might do is crawl under it and shoot a screw or two into it, kind of like I did on that other side. I can do that too. And that'll work. But for now, I'll leave it. And we'll cut these boards here for our thing over here. Falling off of there. Figured we was gonna lose that one. It's okay though. We're still okay with it. This one. That nice cool air today. Feels good. Go ahead and cut 4 more of them. Oh, the saw and everything is handy back. And then we'll see. That should be about 2 feet at a time. Probably I could cut 2 more sets like that. That'll be good. I don't know if y'all been enjoying this little porch building series or not, but I kind of enjoyed the work. Finished up. I'm going to do that same thing I was talking about before. Cut each one 41 1/4. A little trusty dusty tape measure over there. Oh yeah, I got my finger on you. Inappropriate touch. Y'all can now join the Me Too movement. Special Heights. But make sure you spell my name right when you put my name in the paper. Oh, the joy. And he touched me and he didn't ask me if he could. He touched me in an inappropriate place. He touched me right on the eyeball. Oh, say it isn't so. I shouldn't be making fun of that. I'm sorry. Lord, forgive me for my inappropriate ways. Okay, so I can't count higher than 96, so that's 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, and 4 foot, which is 142. And 3/4 is 3/4. And this last one will come out at almost just right. Okay, I'll cut the line on every one of them, and I think it's just about right. I can start with that one down there. I'm going to come up on top and cut that because it's easier to cut from up on top than it is from down under. Ooh, it is. Got a little pinch going there. Oops. Sorry. Run that upside down and get away with it. That is 4 feet. I know I'm going to need at least 2 or 3 more of those. I bought enough to have maybe a couple left over. So I'll go ahead and get 1 more. Well, what I might do instead is put my screws in. It makes it a lot easier to get up and down these steps once the screws are in place. So maybe instead, let's go ahead and put the screws in over here. I'll need a screwdriver gun for that. Oh, it knocked off a box of screws, I think, there. That's okay. Look at that. That's almost empty anyway. I need that other box of screws that's sitting. Where? Where is it? Oh, there. No, yeah, this is it right here. I was fixing to go search for it, and it's sitting right here. Looks like it's about trying to come unglued there. Maybe I ought to take these ones and put them in that other box. Might be a better box than this one. Some are better than others. You just never know. Well, if I had my little stool, oh, there it is. I was about to say, if I had my little stool, I could sit here and do this much more comfortably. And look at there, oh, almost. Almost good. That battery didn't last no time. This must be one of them nearly dead batteries that I got. Some I got ain't much good. I might set this on the side. They used to say that when these batteries went bad, you could shock them with a welder and it would break off some of the crap that gets on them. I don't even know. I don't even know how to say exactly what I'm saying, but I've tried that a couple of times on some old batteries. I can't remember if it worked or how well it worked. It was a long time ago. Soon use a smaller old one than a newer, bigger one. If that makes any sense. Yeah, coming out good. I'm liking it. Ooh, I'm liking it very much. When you're doing these deck boards, you're supposed to leave a tiny little gap between them. Give them room to shrink and expand. If you put them firm up hard against each other, when they expand in the heat, it can cause them to buckle up and crack. So I'm going to try to leave a little gap on each one. I think that's working out good. I believe I cut 2 more of these to get me about here. Maybe 1 more after that will get me to the finish. So I'll go ahead and cut a couple more. I can walk a couple more out part of the way now. So I'll spin you all around, sit you right here. Maybe that's a good enough view to see from. Enjoy. Oh, I just got a big splinter. That went right through my glove. Dang. Maybe we get it out without breaking it off. You know it hurts. The splinters hurt. I'll go in. Some of y'all might hear me coughing sometime and think, what's wrong with that old guy? Why does he cough all the time? I'll tell you a funny story about that. That never happened until my dad died. My dad worked in a factory down in Atlanta, Simmons Beauty Rest. They used to make couches and hide-a-beds, stuff like that. He did piecework down there. And when he got older-ish, like 70, late 70s, early 80s. He was having some trouble breathing. He went to the doctor, and the doctor told him, he said, your lungs are full of industrial waste. You've got cloth and string and dust from cloth and string in your lungs. And this hair shorter, so I'm going to be a little more careful with the cut on it. So they tried to vacuum his lungs out, which turned out later wasn't possible, and probably damaged his lungs because he got worse after that. And he died from basically, let's see now. He died basically from having stuff in his lungs. He couldn't get enough air to his brain. And that's what eventually killed him. And ever since then, I started having this weird little cough, and I think it's psychosomatic. What that means is, I don't think it's a real thing. I think it's a reaction to me knowing how my dad died. It made me think about it, and thinking about it led me to coughing more than I normally would. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is I didn't cough like this till Dad died, and ever since then I have. I don't know why. There's that. Okay then. We're not going to talk about that anymore. Left my thing up there. Oh, and the other thing that happened is I breathed in some of that insulation dust when I was insulating the garage out there. I actually felt like I got some of that in my throat, and I never felt like I never get it out. It might have something to do with it too, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not in perfect condition. I'm not a low mileage, only driven by an old lady special. I'm kind of high mileage and maybe a little extra worn out. More so than I should be. But my wife still loves me, so I guess I'm okay. And I'll try to live as long as I can. I might go see a doctor one day, but I don't know. My theory on doctors is you do fine until you start going to see a doctor, and then people get sick and they wind up dying in the hospital. Well, maybe if I hadn't gone and seen the doctor. No, don't make me say that. Because if I say that, somebody will start taking my medical advice, and I don't have any medical advice I should be giving out and everything. So let's just pretend I didn't bring that subject up, okay? We're not going to talk about that anymore. 20 inches about to wound up here. I marked this thing about 3 different times. I don't know what's wrong with me. We'll go with that though. Talking to my neighbor this morning that owns that lot right there, and he said his wife's been wanting him to come up here and put a house up, and they might come up this weekend. I hope they do. I'd love to see them. I don't know if I ever met them in person or not. I'm gonna go over and cut his grass here as soon as I finish this up.